Hello, 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 everybody. It is Matt, and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday, and I am back at you with yet another review. And before I roll on to anything, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Please do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when I am here. I know it's an awful lot. I have a lot. There's like 50 movies on the list that directors have sent me and have requested. So, look for me for the next like 50 days. So, yeah, you're going to get my ugly face a lot. Anyways, on to the next thing. Check out the information in the description box. I have a lot of information in there for you. Not really, but I give you your brief synopsis, your starring cast, your directors, your runtime of the cut I am watching, a little bit of trivia, a link for a trailer, and then a link for where you can purchase both parts 1 and part 2 to this, because I do not believe part 3 is out yet. So this is a magical screener that I was able to get a hold of today, and it is none other than the magical, fun little ditty little film known as Horrortales.666 Part 3. Yes, this is a fun little movie. I just watched it this morning, and it is another horror anthology from Phil Herman. He produced and directed a segment along with several other directors that have also contributed to this as well. There is 5 stories. There is that is including the wraparound, which stars our favorites, Joel D. Wynkoop and his lovely wife, M. Catherine Wynkoop. They are always fun in every single thing that they do together. I always am happy to see them whenever I see them on screen. I am always grinning ear to ear, even with my busted teeth. Yes. Now, with all that said in mind, what is this movie about? It basically opens up with our character from part 1, part 2, Joel D. Wynkoop. He is stuck yet. First it is ending off where part 2 ends, and it tells you, it kind of gives you a little recap of what happened in the previous one, or at least the ending. It gives you a recap. So it lets you know, it builds up the setup to why he is stuck yet again reading another 4 horror tales. It is a very fun ride. All four of the films are a lot of fun. My favorite one by far would probably be The Vessel. The Vessel is about a girl who is deaf, and she is, most of that story is done spoken through sign, and it was very neat and interesting. So I had to do some reading, which never bothers me, even early in the morning, because it's like 8 o'clock, and I started this at 7 o'clock. It's like 8:30ish, and I started it at 7. So it's a fun little ride of a movie. But her story is very fun. I really enjoyed it. There's a great story about a vampire. There's another story about a jilted lover. There's just so much to add on to this beautiful little gem of a ride. If you are a fan of anthology films, definitely check this out. I need to rewatch parts 1 and part 2. It's been years since, not years, but it's been a hot minute. It's been over a year since I've seen part 2 at least. I can't even remember, really, to be quite honest. It's been a while. And same with part 1. I saw it a while ago as well. So it's been a really, really, really long time. So those stories and those ones are kind of hard for me to remember right at this moment. But either way, with Joel's story, it's fun. You find out that he has killed his wife. She is an agoraphobic, and she has a bad heart, and he sets up a whole thing of scaring her to death, essentially. It's fun, it's neat. It shows his character in this, and it shows what kind of a person he is, and that he did it all for the money. Ha ha ha! Which Joel is great in this. So is Catherine. And then the Phil Herman story with Debbie D. Wow. I really, 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 really like that story a lot. Phil plays a serial killer. I'm not to give away anything. But I will just say that it is a very, very spicy segment. It has some nice little nudity from our lovely, lovely, beautiful Debbie D. She has it is a jilted lover story because they both are married, and they both are cheating on their spouses with each other. Good, bad, and ugly. They are a duo that are not on the same page. Being that Phil is a serial killer, and that Debbie D decides to come up with this crazed idea to get back at her husband, who is an evil swine of a man who makes her do sexual deeds whenever she doesn't want to do them. He forces her to give him blowjobs and all kinds of things of that nature. Forces her to have sex. Just a real dastardly, just evil kind of guy. One of those guys you just want to just sock in the mouth. I really just disliked his character a lot. Those two stories are very good, but by far, like I said, The Vessel is the best story out of them all. It is my favorite story. The wraparound is absolutely fun as well. The fourth story is also just as fun. I can't say enough great things about this movie. It is one of the funnest anthology films I've seen since probably Tales of Halloween, or Horrortales.666 parts 1 and part 2. But before those, it was probably Tales of Halloween was the last really, really fun anthology I enjoyed. Holidays was great. There's been some fun ones here and there mixed throughout that time period, but that's the last great one I really, really remember that I would hold this one. Some of you might not agree with me, but I hold this not up there with it, but I put it in my top 20 of horror anthology films of all time. I think this is very fun, or at least top 25. I enjoyed this one. I actually like it better in parts 1 and part 2. Actually, it's very rare that I like a sequel more than I like part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is my second favorite. Part 2 it would be my least favorite out of them all. But all three are still very solid films. Definitely check out Horrortales.666 Part 3. You will not be disappointed. Now, as far as my three criteria that I always like my films to meet: audio, dialogue, and editing, it meets all three with stunning, pristine, precise precision. It does it very well. I never once was going with audio. I give it an A. I never was once going what is being said or done. I could hear 100% of the time. So that was great. Even in the segments with the vessel with the deaf girl, there is audio and dialogue in that segment. So definitely don't look for it to be completely silent. So the audio is still crisp and clean and cool in that. Now, the dialogue gets an A+ in all the segments, in my opinion. I think they all compile to make make it go to that A+ level, because they are just all so much fun. I think the dialogue in probably either the wraparound or the vessel, of course, is probably the best. The writing is just so good in the vessel. I cannot stress enough how much I loved that story. That is by far the crowning jewel of the film, in my opinion. I think it is just masterfully done. Now, as far as editing goes really well. It has a very nice, crisp, clean, smooth sailing ride all throughout. And all the stories fit in perfectly. I think they're placed in there perfectly. I would not have changed the positions through 1 through 4. I think that they all were in there at the right exact amount of right places, a right amount of time. They all just really fit the bill, and they all did their job really well, I thought, and I applaud them for that. And now I also want to mention also things like coloring in this. The color is very cool in some of the segments. They did some really neat, cool, like purples and neon colors. I really enjoyed that, especially with the vessel. I thought that, once again, I'm bringing the vessel up. They did some really cool color techniques with that. Along with the very first story, the one with our man that is out for... He is out for no good, essentially. He just kills this dude. Him and his boys kill this dude who is a hit. They find out that things aren't what they are what they seem, and there is a twist ending on that one, which they did some really cool coloring schemes as well on that. I thought that overall that was neat. And now there was also some really fun camera stuff going on. There was just overall just technical masterpiece on that end. It just really fits really well. Now, as far as its 1 through 5 rating goes, I'm going to give this thing a 4 out of 5. It could have been better, could have been worse. It could have jumped up there to that 5. It's very hard to get a 5 from me. I think I've given 3 in my entire reviewing career of 4 years now. So, yeah, it's very rare for me to pass out a 5. So, with that being said, definitely hop on out when this comes out. Get Horror Tales 666 Part 3. You will be pleasantly surprised. It fits every bit of your criteria for as far as an anthology film goes. It fits every bit of criteria for as far as all my lovely friends from the Tampa Bay area filming community goes. It fits their stuff very well. I was just pleasantly happy, pleasantly just a smile on my face all throughout this entire film. I can't stress this enough. So go check out Horror Tales 666 Parts 1, 2, and 3 when Part 3 drops. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'm going to pop on over here and take a check at the master list. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. So I will be doing a Joe Sherlock film, The Drifter, and then Saturday will be The Craving. Sunday will be another Zetkin Yokomis film with some smoke in a locker. And then Monday, Ghost House, 12th, The Bag Attack from Toxic Filth. So we got a lot of cool stuff lined up here in the future. So definitely tune in, and I will see you tomorrow. So everybody, I love your faces, and as always, peace.